Good afternoon, Northlake family. It is Friday, September 18th. This is our weekly update for this week. We had a really awesome day today. We had our sophomore students came up to campus for map testing. So that is the beginning of the year test that all students in Dallas ISD are required to take, which provides teachers with baseline data that helps them inform instruction at the beginning of the school year. So really awesome opportunities. So we had students, an opportunity for us to practice our safety procedures. So we had masks on, we had students in classrooms with their plexiglass dividers, spread out 6 feet, making sure that we were social distancing with 6 feet across from each other. But it was really a great day. I think all things considered, obviously it is a new normal, that we're all going to have to kind of get accustomed to. So, even like we were outside and you're outside, but you still have to have your mask on, at any point in time when you are on campus, and you're around others, you have to have that mask on. So that's something that, our students are going to have to, become accustomed to for those of them that are returning to campus. But I think all in all, it was a great day. I was really excited to see them. I know they were excited to see their teachers. And we'll be welcoming, a lot of our students back here in the next 2 weeks. So that was really great. We had the parents survey that is due today. We're actually at 100%. So every single one of our families have indicated whether or not they're going to remain virtual or they're going to return for face-to-face instruction, which is really important for us because we have to know that in order to be able to plan effectively. So we have to ensure that classrooms have enough space, that there's enough room in classrooms so that students are able to space out, so the teachers are able to adjust instruction. And that's really over the next couple days, really what I'm going to be looking at is looking at that data and then unpacking it and really figuring out what the best plan is, keeping safety in mind. Okay. So for those of you who are coming back for face-to-face instruction, it is really, really important that you fill out the transportation survey. Okay. The transportation survey is extremely important if you are coming back and you need transportation. The big thing that I want to emphasize, and this was actually brought up to me today, was for our students that would have attended Thomas Jefferson. I believe that you had the Medrano stop last year. This year, the actual stop that you're going to be looking for is Stephen Foster Elementary School. Okay, so when you fill out that survey, you're not going to see Thomas Jefferson, you're not going to see Medrano, but if you need a stop that is close, you're going to the closest stop for you will be Stephen Foster Elementary School, okay? So with all that said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump into our newsletter for this week. We don't have a lot of new updates because really the big updates and big changes that we're gonna see are gonna come actually at the beginning of next week, once we've had an opportunity to go in and analyze the data from the survey results, okay? So this is our newsletter for this week. I'll be sending this out here. Really the first thing is the reentry plan. So it's important for me to address this. So eligible freshmen who have asked to return for face-to-face instruction will return on September 28th. Our sophomores will return during the week of October 5th. We don't know the exact date yet because if we have to do a staggered or a hybrid system, which basically means that not all of those students will be coming back at once, but we're going to have to split it. That will happen during the week of October 5th. We just don't necessarily know yet what that date is going to be, okay? So again, all of this comes back to safety. We have to make sure that teachers are able to space out those classrooms. So we will be able to talk more about what that system looks like once we've analyzed that data and finalized our system. I talked about map testing. So again, really proud of our sophomores today. I think we were over 90%, as far as testing, whether it was here or for the students that needed to take it online for whatever reason. So I was really excited about that. We were able to get them in here, interact with them, test them. Freshmen, your date is next Friday. Okay, next Friday. So again, that'll be an opportunity, really your first opportunity to come to campus. So we're going to be excited to welcome you next Friday. So again, just the arrival procedures there. We use the rear entrance. You have to have your mask on at all times. You have to have a charged device. We do check temperatures at the door. You'll get your testing assignment. We have breakfast and lunch for students that require it or want it. And then you report to your location. We have the plexiglass dividers that are there. And then students at the end of the test, something really important that I need to emphasize again, because we had a few students that struggled with this today, but we have to exit the campus, okay? We can't hang around. Part of the testing plan that we developed with Northlake College was that students are exiting the building immediately after the test. But it's also, the test is self-paced, right? So every student kind of finishes at their own pace, but you do have to exit the building right after that test is over. So I included a video here, and I showed this at our parent meeting last night that just goes over what the entry procedure looks like, just talks about the location, where you need to drop off at, the temperature check, and what that's like. So you can take a look at that. There's some pictures from testing today. So if you're a parent, student, you want to know what it's going to look like. So we had testing going on in some different locations. We actually had testing out here in our foyer. We wanted to make sure that we were able to spread out. We actually had a few students more than what we anticipated today. So we had to get creative and respond accordingly. So we did have some testing in some different locations. You can see here, students were spread out 6 feet apart. We had our plexiglass dividers, masks were on, pretty much the entire time. So I was really proud of our students with that. If you haven't completed the MAP testing survey, please do so. We need to go ahead and make sure we get those results. Transportation, address that as well. You got to fill out that survey, all right? And again, I just want to emphasize, Foster Elementary is the pickup if you are a Thomas Jefferson, if that is your home school. So Foster Elementary is your zone school, is your zoned pickup stop or drop-off stop if you're a Thomas Jefferson student. So just wanted to emphasize that. Dual credit updates. So I addressed this in the parent meeting as well, but textbooks, we still have some courses that we're struggling with textbooks. The professors know that. The professors have adapted their instruction knowing that students don't have textbooks. But still, it's always great for you to send your professor an email, letting them know that you don't have your book. They know that. I've communicated that to them. Northlake College has communicated that to the professors. But it's always good for them to hear from the student as well. And it's not something unique to Northlake. It's an issue going on across the entire Dallas College network right now, just because different textbook system this fall, so we're just trying to work out the kinks there. But professors are being pretty flexible, as far as assignments and tailoring those, knowing that students don't have books. All right, but again, got to make sure we're checking Blackboard every single day, that we're completing assignments by the due date. All right. It's very, very, very important that we are meeting those due dates, that we're communicating with our professors, and that we're taking care of those things as they happen. Some of our courses are meeting live in the mornings. Again, we're communicating that when we know it, but again, it's the student's responsibility to know what the professor's expectations are. So again, just going back to the importance of checking Blackboard every day and being in constant communication with the professor that's teaching that college course. Just some, again, a visual here for eConnect. If you forget a password or if you need to log in, again, this would be the place you can do it. I linked the 2 websites here. Dress code information. Our students returning for face-to-face instruction will require, we do have dress code, and dress code will be expected to be followed. Our Northlake Early College High School uniform, the first date that our goal is to implement that on October 14th. All right, so the goal is that all of our students by October 14th will have their uniforms purchased and ready to go. So if you're coming back here for face-to-face instruction, just know that you're going to be expected to have that uniform, and we're going to be wearing that uniform moving forward, okay? So I included the pictures here as far as what that dress will look like. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday dress, and then we have the rest of the week there, or the rest of your options here. And you would want to contact Versa for those options. So our virtual schedule, again, has hopefully been helpful, for our students. And I try to utilize Remind, to send out those updates to students, letting them know when it's time to go to the next class and things like that. But again, we're just following our schedule. It also helps on your phone if you just set yourself an alarm. So an alarm for each class period, the beginning and ending time of those classes, that also helps. At this point, we should all know our schedule. We should all know how to access our teacher links. But again, you have PowerSchool for that. You have Google Classroom. We have the app here for that as well, on the website. some videos there from Elias just talking about his experience with online learning. Again, shout out to him. Did a great job of representing Northlake. I believe that was last week. Our online learning bell schedule has not changed. And even if once we transition to some form of a face-to-face instruction, our goal is to not adjust that bell schedule, if much, if at all possible, okay? We might have to take a look at lunch class periods just and be a little creative there with our lunches, because we might have to adjust our lunches for the in-person learners just to ensure that they're able to spread out and they have room to eat. Outside of that, like I said, the expectation for our virtual online learners will be the same thing, that they follow that schedule. Our calendar coming up, all right, so we do have an SBDM meeting. So on Tuesday at 5:00 p.m., and I sent out an email to every parent this afternoon, basically inviting them to this meeting where we're going to discuss our reentry plan. The reentry plan is going to be based on data. So ultimately, that's what it's going to come down to. I'm going to share exactly what that data looked like from the parent survey. I'm going to share how that data is going to impact classroom capacity for our Northlake campus classroom. So you're going to see exactly how many students will be in a classroom based on the numbers, okay? So you can see exactly how many students will be in those classes based on the responses from the survey. Our sophomore students will have their welcome week presentation. We had to bump that back a week because of MAP testing. And then we also have MAP testing for our freshmen on the next Friday. Freshmen will report for face-to-face instruction on the 28th. And then we also have our ECHS uniform purchasing deadline, which is September 30th, okay? So again, we do expect our students to have that uniform. It's important. We do have visitors that come to campus, probably not as much this semester, right? But it is important. We do want all of our students to have that uniform in the event that we will need it, okay? Some links here at the bottom. So we have our weekly updates via YouTube. So again, you can access that here. Internet hotspots. Dallas ISD is really doing the best they can right now to accommodate and facilitate hotspot requests. So we're working on that now. I included meeting presentations from parent meetings and things like that down here as well, so you have access to those. That's really all that I have for this week's weekly update. The biggest thing, again, is making sure if you want to participate in the SBDM meeting on Tuesday that you send me an email. By the end of today, we need to knock out that transportation survey that's going to be sent out on Remind. So make sure that we fill that out. And please just make sure that you talk to your students about their college coursework and make sure that they're completing those assignments on the due date. We're at a time right now, y'all, where students have a lot to do, right? Between the college courses, between our accelerated high school courses, there's a lot going on, and it's a lot. So we have to make sure that we're utilizing and managing our time effectively. But again, talk to your students, make sure they're doing okay, and also reach out to us if there's anything that we can do to help. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Be safe. We're excited to see our freshmen next Friday and SBDM meeting Tuesday to talk about reentry and to look at data from the survey. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.